It's Angela Peacock, and I am pleased to be joined with Jeannine Vermette. And you play the harp at Actionmarguerite. And someone might hear that and it's like, why do you do that? What made you to decide to do that in the first place?
Well, I've been doing music since the age of 6.
Okay.
Started with piano lessons and then accordion and then organ and then guitar. And when I retired from my work here in the community, I was on the leadership team. I thought to myself, how can I be more useful in this world of ours? I had worked with some elderly people and people who were ill, and I thought, be nice to just be able to be with them and to do something that really soft that will help them in their suffering and their preparation for the last few miles that they have to live. And
Wow.
so I took some harp lessons and took a course called International Harp Therapy. And this led me to Actionmarguerite.
Wow, that's so cool. So you took harp lessons just for like this specific role. It
That,
wasn't just part of music in general.
that's right. It was to be able to be more present to people who were suffering.
Yeah. And why did you choose the harp out of, because you said you played a bunch of other instruments. So why did you choose harp over piano or something like that?
Because harp has many strings and they are healing strings. They really bring healing, to the people, whatever their situation is. And of course, I got a small harp, which is easy to carry, which is important when you do this work.
How big is like a full size harp? How heavy would it
Well,
be?
no, well, my goodness, my little harp is only about 5 feet high.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Because I mean, like even just like you said, so if it's a very calming instrument, obviously, and just when you're like where you're playing, that's obviously what you're really looking for, helping just bring that sense of peace really as they're just wanting to relax and just calmness and everything like that. And I saw that you did the compassionate care course. So how would that, like doing something like that, how would that prepare you and, better equip you for taking on this role as well?
Well, this was a continuation of the International Harp Therapy, really, because the important thing is all in the listening. Even if you're there, if you're not playing anything, the important thing is that you're listening to the person, doing empathic listening, really deep listening to who they are and what they want and what they're living. So then you add a little bit of soft music to that, and it helps them along.
Wow, that's so cool. And so as you're doing this, like how long have you been doing this for?
Well, I started playing, I would think about 10 years ago, but
Okay.
it's kind of been off and on because I did different things. I did some work at Jocelyn House and St. Boniface Hospital and Action Marguerite in different situations. Sometimes it was just for a sing along with them.
And now that you just keep coming back and you just keep love doing what you're doing, right?
Yes, and when I heard about this program, I don't know if you've been told about this, but it's called NODA, No One Dies Alone. Have you heard about that?
No.
Yeah, and that really got me excited because I think it's so important for people not to die alone. We've had such terrible experiences during the COVID,
Hmm.
people passing and nobody with them, and family couldn't see them, and it was just really awful. So this new program at Action Marguerite, I think, is quite fantastic. It will involve many people, I'm sure,
Hmm.
but I'd like to get more and more involved in it too.
Absolutely. And really just, yeah, like you said, just having someone else there for them when they're on their like the end, when they're near the end and just like, okay, just having someone there can just, I'm sure, be really, really an encouragement for them. Wow.
Even if they're not on their dying bed kind of thing. Like I remember last week speaking to a man who was not feeling well. And so I started to play, and then he started to tell me his story. So I kind of played along. And then I stopped playing, and he just continued and continued and continued. He had so much to say,
Yeah.
and just to have somebody there listening to them is so important. Because so
Hmm.
many people are alone, and lonely. And
Yeah, just looking for that companionship as well.
yes, very important.
Do you find that when you're playing, like, does your music change as you're talking to people and maybe just like suiting towards them?
Yes, it depends on, when, like, what they're talking about, how they feel, what kind of a day they're having. I can play in a minor key, or I can play in different modes according to what I see they're living or feeling.
Hmm.
You have to adapt to the person.
Absolutely. Just kind of fit the what's going on in the room and everything too.
That's right. Do you play an instrument, Angela?
I played the clarinet in high school. I haven't played since high school, but that's yeah, I did that. So
Good.
yeah. So if let's say somebody's watching this or if they want to like see this or if they know somebody that this would be a benefit to, when do you play?
Well, it varies. Most of the time when somebody is um, dying or close to it, they give me a call, and I go over there then. So it really varies a lot.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just kind of
But
yeah, it's just circumstance.
yeah, it's but when I go, it's mostly afternoons, like around 2 or 3. That seems, or even 4. It seems to be the best time for the people, who are there.
And what would you say out of for how long you've been doing this, what has been the like biggest thing that you've taken away personally and just kind of like your reason for keep wanting to go back?
Well, I remember playing on the 8th floor at St. Boniface Hospital for a man I had seen a few times. And that day I went in with my harp, and I said, we talked a little bit. And he said, what you just played happens to be my favorite song. And he said, I just really love it. Well, I said, I'm so glad. It was Green Sleeves. You know that song called Green Sleeves?
Okay.
But it was just such a coincidence that I happened to play his favorite song without even knowing. The next day he had passed. So I thought, oh, what a nice gift to be able to give him, to play his favorite song just before he goes.
Yeah. Wow.
You
That's
just,
so
you
cool.
just, yeah, you just never know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story and what you're doing and just really I'm sure being an encouragement to whoever's going to be seeing this and listening to this of just, maybe this is a reminder for other people too of just like try to get out there and be more kind to people as well.
Yeah, and most of all, to be listening,
Mm,
to be there and just to be able to listen to them. I think that's what is the greatest benefit, whether you're doing music or, the important thing is your presence with them.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jeannine, and yeah, for all you're doing. And I'm sure it's going to be really cool just to see about as this continues to evolve and you're going to be going more and more.
Yes, because people are not getting any younger.
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah. It's been a
Oh,
pleasure, Angela. Thank you very much.
thank you.